Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Grave, the podcast where I talk to friends, family, and even strangers about their paranormal experiences. Today's episode is the final episode for Season 3. As always, it is bittersweet since I do really love listening to all these stories and talking with all my guests. But it's also a shit ton of work, and I'm always glad to take a little break. As most of you should know by now, this is part 2 of Makala's stories, and last week she told us about 300 locations around the world. But this week, she tells us about 3 of her own experiences. And I saved this episode for last because of all the scary things I've heard on this podcast. These 3 stories may be the scariest I've heard to date. At the very least, they're in the top 5. So without further ado, here are Makala's ghost stories.
All right. So I guess I'll talk. Okay. This only makes sense. I'll talk about the very first time I ever saw anything paranormal. And I mean see, like with my eyes.
Yeah,
Physically see.
that's what I'm after here. I want to. I don't care about your door slamming shut. I want visual stuff.
So my mom's parents, they used to live in a farmhouse that had been in my family for generations. It was built in 1869, and it was in a town called Suffolk, Virginia. Basically, when I was younger, my mom and my sister and I would go down there and visit, and it was a pretty far drive from where we lived, so we would only go on like weekends or holiday breaks and things like that. My grandparents had originally lived in Richmond and eventually moved into the farmhouse because my great grandparents had passed away. And so my mom and I decided to go down there one weekend, and I was probably about 8 at the time.
Mhm.
And it was a Friday night. We ate dinner, and every single night, my grandfather always had to make a cup of coffee and watch the 11 o'clock news. That was like his thing. And
Old
so,
move, making a cup of coffee at 11 o'clock at night.
dude, he could drink a cup and go right to sleep. I don't know how, but
Bless him.
he did it every night. And so we were watching, TV with them, and around 10:30, my mom and I decide that we're going to go to sleep. The house is obviously very old, so my grandparents' bedroom was downstairs because it didn't really make a lot of sense for them to be going up and down the stairs. And so my mom and I would sleep upstairs. And the way that the room was set up, there's 2 twin beds. There's one against the wall, and there's one like right in front of the door. I always slept in the one against the wall. We ended up going to sleep. My mom shuts the bedroom door since my grandfather's still downstairs watching TV because she has to be in absolute darkness to sleep. We end up going to bed, and at this point it's 10:30 or so, and we both fall asleep. I was asleep for maybe 4 hours, and I have an issue where I'm a very, very light sleeper, and I suffer from insomnia, unfortunately, and so it's hard for me to stay asleep. So I end up waking up, and I'm laying there thinking, like, great, I'm going to be awake for forever. And so I end up turning over towards my mom, and as I'm doing this, my eyes are still closed, but I notice that it looks lighter. And so I open my eyes and realize the bedroom door is open. I'm like, that's strange. And then I look over to my mom, and there is a full lady literally bent over looking at my mom. And
Oh my God.
I was just like, what? And it's a lady that I've never seen before. She had like very short, curly brown hair and glasses. And she was just looking at my mom and smiling. It was weird because I wasn't scared, which makes no sense at all because I'm like 8 years old. But I just remember just staring at her, and eventually she looks at me, she smiles, and then she just like disappears. Like I blink and she's gone.
And I'm
And
sorry.
so in my mind,
You've never, like, this is not a person you recognize at all.
I have never seen this woman before in my life. Okay. This is insane. So she disappears in the blink of an eye, and I am just like shocked. I'm like, what did I just see? And in my mind, I'm like, oh, I must be dreaming, right? Whatever. So I go back to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, my mom is still asleep, and the bedroom door is still open.
Mm.
And I'm like, this is weird because my mom is like a freak when it comes to the the bedroom door. She had to have it shut. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to brush this off. Right. So I go downstairs. My grandma's in the kitchen making breakfast. And it really started to bother me. And I didn't want to talk to my grandma about this because she is very religious. Okay. But which is great. But she is one of those people that is like, do not talk about the paranormal because it is bad. And Jesus would not want you to talk about it.
Got it.
And so it kind of freaked me out because it was like, I saw a ghost. I know I did, but I really want to tell her. Like,
Yeah.
So eventually I just break down and I tell her, and I'm freaking out, right? And I'm like, I saw this woman with this short brown hair and these glasses, and I don't know who it was, and I think it was a ghost, but I don't know what I saw, right? She sits there for a second and she's just staring at me for like 5 minutes. And I'm expecting like, oh my God, she's gonna like yell at me. She just like takes my hand and she's like, come here. And I'm like, okay. So we walk to the family room where there's a bookcase, all right? And she has like a bunch of old family photo albums, and she pulls one out and she flips to a page and she shows me a picture, and it's a man and a woman, and the lady is the lady that I saw.
I knew it.
Come to find out, it was my great grandma.
No way. I mean,
Yes.
oh God.
It was my great grandma, and I never got to meet them because they both passed away before I was born. But I was like, what? And then out of it, obviously shocked me because my grandma was like, yeah, we see them all the time. And I was like, what?
It's a common occurrence.
Yeah, like it's just normal to see great grandma, great grandpa just lounging around the house, I guess.
Yeah, they're always rooting around somewhere, you know.
But I was just like shocked, and eventually I told my mom, and my mom has seen her like tons of times.
So everyone's just used to it. You're the only one that was like, is no one else gonna say anything?
Literally, I'm like, so nobody was gonna tell me that like I might occasionally see somebody lurking around in the house. Like,
yeah, might be a good thing to know.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that's nuts, Makala. I gotta be honest. When you said the door was open, then you said that the woman was standing there, it literally brought tears to my eyes. And that doesn't happen very often. So no, it's great. It's good news. That is chilling. I mean, in a good way, and actually a very kind of nice way. It didn't seem like she was there to, actually scare you, but
no, and it's sad because that obviously was a common occurrence, and I think it made me feel nice to know, and I guess that's why subconsciously I wasn't scared, even though I didn't know who she was, but I was just very like relaxed when I saw her.
It's like a familial feeling almost. You were just like, yeah, we're
like
kindred here.
I mean, probably she's been lurking around the house this whole time, and I didn't know. But yeah, no, it was weird because again, my mom has seen her and my great grandfather so many times there, and unfortunately, my grandparents no longer live there. My grandfather actually passed away in 2017, and so my grandma sold it, and she no longer lives there, but somebody else does now. So I'm sure they have plenty of ghost stories about people lurking around the house.
They were unaware of the current tenants that still reside.
Literally.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Do you have any others that could possibly top that, or?
Yes.
Oh my God! Stop.
Okay.
This is going to be a two-parter for sure.
Okay, I have two more stories. Just two more.
Love it.
All right. So this next one is scary.
Perfect.
I'm just going to put that out there.
That's why we're here.
This is very scary. Okay, so when I was in 7th grade, and I don't know if this original story just like kicked off the paranormal for me, but it seems to be like a common thing where I physically see stuff. But when I was in 7th grade, I had this friend that I used to hang out with. She was one of my best friends. I used to spend the night at her house all the time. We were constantly together, whatever. Well, we always used to, me and my other friend always used to go to her house and watch scary movies. And this one particular time, I remember, we used to joke about, like playing with a Ouija board and like things like that. Obviously, we never did it because I would never. No thanks. But she had this area in her bedroom that was kind of like a closet, but within the closet there was a crawl space door. And this one day I went over there to spend the night, and every time I did, I would sleep in her younger sister's bed because they shared a room. And so the upstairs of her house is just like their bedroom. So I end up going to sleep. She's asleep in her bed. I'm sleeping in her sister's bed. And I wake up in the middle of the night because I hear what sounds like a door opening. And I'm like, what is going on? So I wake up, and at this point, it's probably like 1:30 or 2:30 in the morning. It's late. And I look over at the bedroom door, which is like between the two beds, and it's closed. I'm like, that's weird. And so I close my eyes again, and then I hear it again. And when I open my eyes and I look at this closet area, the crawl space door is creaking open. Okay.
Okay.
And so I am frozen in fear because I'm like, what is going on? And I look and I start to see what literally looks like a shadow figure crawling out of this door.
Oh my God.
Like, I see, it looks like hands with claws, and all I see are the arms coming out of the door. Um, I've never been so scared in my life. And I just remember like ducking under the covers, and I'm pretty sure I stayed there for about an hour. I'm not even kidding. And eventually I don't hear anything else. And I like the feeling that I had was gone. So I like peek out from under the covers, and the crawl space door is shut. And there's nothing there.
Oh my goodness.
This scared me so bad. I stayed up for the rest of the night. I texted my parents. I was like, come and get me immediately.
Get me out of here.
My dad came and picked me up at like 7 a.m. My friend was still asleep. I was like, I told her parents, I said, I'm leaving. Goodbye. Have a great night. Or great day. And I never went back there ever after that. And the thing is, I never told my friend.
Oh, that's messed up. You gotta let her know.
Well, because in my mind, I'm like, did I dream that? But I was awake. And so I don't know. We always had this weird feeling about this little crawl space closet area. And I never told her. And I feel so bad because to this day, I don't talk to her anymore, but I always think, I'm like, did she ever experience anything?
Is she okay?
Is she okay? Yeah. Like, are you good? Because I am not. I am scarred for life.
Traumatized over here. That is, wow, that is terrifying. Just to see that's like, oh my God, it's like a scene that is literally a horror movie scene.
Every time I think about it, I think about like Insidious, like the original OG Insidious movie, and just imagine like the red and black face
demon
devil.
or whatever. Yeah.
That's literally what I picture every time I think about it.
Oh,
it was so scary.
What's even scary, I mean, obviously that whole sequence is scary, but the fact that when you pulled your head away from peeked out from the covers, the whole thing was shut. Like that is like, it's almost like fucking with you,
Right. And then that's a reason why I didn't say anything to my friend, because I'm like, what if I'm just imagining this whole thing? Or I feel like if something would have happened, she would have told me about it before then,
Yeah.
But also, I don't really know. And I didn't want to say anything to her parents either, because I don't know. I felt weird about it. I was like, they're going to think I'm crazy. I'm not going to say anything.
Just leave them to it. See what happens. That's why. And also, as a quick aside, as someone who saw something in his own bedroom, and I said it on one of my TikTok videos, but the only thing I could think to do was pull the covers over my head. And I just waited. Everyone's like, why do you do that? I was like, I didn't know what else to do. It's just
what do you do?
Yeah, it was just like, this is too weird to like, I just hid.
And also, it's like,
not to die.
Get that, literally.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what's about to happen, but
you get that feeling where you physically cannot move. Like you're frozen. And I mean, the first thing you think is to just throw the covers over, because I mean, obviously that's not going to do but so much, but mentally it makes you feel better. So
you can't see it anymore.
Exactly. If you can't see it, it's not there. So
I say that, but then have you seen the original Hell House?
No.
Oh, girl.
I haven't.
You need to. You need to. So there's a scene.
It's on Shudder, right?
They're all on Shudder.
Okay.
But the first one is just tremendous. But there's a scene where there's a guy. He wakes up in the middle of the night, and He turns his camera on to be like, I think I heard something, and like the whole thing's being filmed. Obviously, it's found footage, but he turns the camera, and there's just this very terrifying looking girl sitting in the like his bed's on the ground, but she's just sitting across from him on the floor, and she like turns her head and looks at him, and he hides under the covers, and that the whole sequence plays out with him just like peeking. And I was like, I feel this. This hits too close to home. The covers, man, not always the safest
Oh,
place.
hey, it's not. But then again, what are you gonna jump up and run?
Nope,
No.
nope. All right, let's hit number three. I can't imagine
Okay.
if this one is as scary as the first two. I swear to goodness.
I okay. I think I can't even give you an honest judgment because I think at this point I'm desensitized to all of it.
Hmm. Okay, I guess that's a
So
good
to
thing.
me, I don't think it's that scary,
Okay, well, I'll be the judge of
but I
that.
guess it is. Okay, I'll let you. Yeah, you be the judge. So last summer, my friends were down in the Outer Banks on vacation, and my husband and I decided that we're gonna go down there and spend like the weekend with them. And it's last minute, so obviously, there's nowhere for us to stay. We're like looking at hotels and we're not trying to pay us, $2,000 to stay 2 days. So we're like, you know what, let's get an Airbnb, right? Well, I ended up finding this old surf shack and it was super cute. It just had like a kitchen, a living room, one bathroom, and one bedroom. And I was like,
Hmm.
this is perfect. This is all we need, right? So I book it. And the way that it's set up, you walk into the living room, and immediately to your right is the little hallway with the bathroom, and then it leads straight back to the bedroom. Well, the weird thing is, for one, there was no bedroom door. It's just like an open doorway,
Oh,
right?
okay. No
But what
privacy.
makes it no privacy. But what makes it even weirder is there's a porch on the front, right? And you have the door that you go into that opens up to the living room, but then there was a door that leads to the front porch in the bedroom.
Hmm.
So obviously at one point I think they were just like two really tiny houses and they just made it into one,
Just
whatever.
merged them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this kind of freaked my husband out. He's like a control freak when it comes to like making sure the door is locked, like, you know, um, the bedroom door. We're both kind of weird about the bedroom door. Like I always have to have my bedroom door shut
Hmm.
because of paranormal things, but like that's that's different. And so it kind of weirded us both out. There was no bedroom door. And I was like, it's fine, whatever. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to sleep on the bed, but like closest to the door in case something happens. I'm like, sure, dude, whatever. So we end up going to sleep and it's probably like 9:30. We're both asleep. I end up waking up in the middle of the night again, and I hear what sounds like somebody walking in the little hallway. And I open my eyes, and at this point, I'm like next to the wall. So I turn over and I'm like looking. I like sit up. I'm like, I'm hearing stuff. Like, it's an old house. It must be like settling or something.
Hmm.
So I lay back down and shut my eyes again. Well, then I start to hear it again. And so I open my eyes and I'm just staring into the darkness of this hallway. And all of a sudden, I can see like an outline of a figure. I'm like, this is weird. And then it becomes more clear, and it is a old woman. This old woman is like walking into our bedroom, and she's like looking around, like all confused, like this.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just laying there, like, what is happening? And so she walks in the room, and she makes her way to my side of the bed. And at this point, I'm like facing the hallway, so she's standing behind me, and she just stands there for like 5 minutes, and she walks around back around the bed to where my husband is asleep, and she like bends over till she's literally like this far, like mere inches from his face, and
No
she's
way.
just staring at him like this. I was terrified that she was honestly gonna like look up at me, so I
I was
shut my eyes.
the visual in my mind was her just slowly turning to look at you.
So that literally, I was like, I can't see this, so I immediately shut my eyes. Right, I wait what feels like forever, and eventually I hear her walk back out. And when I open my eyes, she's nowhere to be found.
Oh.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay, either one, that was a real like fucking person in our Airbnb,
Yeah.
or two, I'm just losing my mind. So I wait like 30 minutes or so, and then I get up and I'm like, okay, I need to like actually see if there's somebody in here or something. So I get up and I walk, I check everything, I check the doors, the windows, everything's locked. And I go back to sleep. I don't know how I ended up falling asleep, but I did.
Mhm.
And the next morning, my husband and I wake up and it's like time for us to check out or whatever. And we were like going to breakfast with our friends, and I debated, I'm like, do I tell him? Whatever. So I ended up not telling him. And finally on our long drive back home, I finally bring it up and I'm like, hey, how'd you sleep last night? And he was like, I slept okay, I think. I was a little nervous about the doors, like the weird door situation or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So I tell him what I saw. And he's just looking at me. He's like, you're bullshitting. Like, you're such a liar. There's no way. And I'm like, no, I swear to you, I saw it with my own eyes. I literally thought there was a person in our
Oh
Airbnb.
my God.
And he was like, whatever. And I was like, okay. So then like 30 minutes goes by and it's like dead silent in the car. And I'm just like mad because he doesn't believe me. Um, and then he goes, can I be honest with you for a second? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm not going to lie. I did think at one point I woke up last night and saw somebody standing in the corner of our bedroom at the
Oh.
Airbnb. And I was like, oh, now you want to say something?
Oh.
So yeah, that literally happened. And it was so weird because when it happened, I was like, am I having sleep paralysis or something? Like, what's going on? But yeah, it was,
That is so. Like,
didn't expect that to happen.
that is like the worst case scenario because there are two well, there's three technically, but the first is it was an actual person who somehow got into that house and was just being really freaking creepy. The second is it was the spirit of an old woman, which is also equally as creepy, if not creepier. And the third is you imagined it. However, were you like when you woke up, were you able like to move around? Were you moving or were you just
Yes,
okay? So I think we can throw sleep paralysis out the window.
because I literally turned over and then I did get out of the bed to like see if she was, wherever. But I mean, I could remember like I was debating again with the covers, like, should I cover my face? But she's
Come
like
on,
right there, and
covers.
I'm like, I can't. I just need to close my eyes.
Hold on,
But
just to clarify, I feel like I was just so enamored with the story, I almost like blacked it out. But um, when she entered the room, did you watch her like walk? So you literally like followed her the entire way, and she like walked around the room.
so yes, I'm like laying down, and my eyes are like watching her. So like once she gets like to the corner of my side of the bed, I can't see her, but I can hear her walking and like feel her behind me.
Were you just too scared to look?
I was too terrified to turn over because again, I was like, is this a human being? Or I mean, I know it's an old lady, but still, like,
Oof.
she looked confused because I'm like, does she have dementia? Like, these are like the things that I'm thinking. I'm like, is she real? Is she not? But then I'm sitting here and I'm like, there's no way that she was real because I literally almost watched her manifest into our bedroom. Like I could hear her coming, and then I
Oh,
saw her.
that is chilling.
it it was so weird, and I still am just like, I was half tempted to message the host of the Airbnb,
You should have
but I didn't want to be weird. And now thinking back,
just to see like they're like, oh yeah, people see that lady
I
all the time.
like I want to know. And what's bad is like I would 10 out of 10 book it again. I mean, it
Oh my
was
God,
a really cute
it's a glutton for
Airbnb.
punishment over there.
I have to know if somebody else has seen it. It was look, it was a last minute booking, and I'm not gonna lie, the price of the Airbnb was cheap, so maybe that's why
Yep.
it's
Like these
haunted.
people are in for it. That is wild. Michaela, I'll be honest with you. Those are like three of the scariest stories I have ever heard talking to people.
Are you serious?
No, I'm
I'm
being dead serious. And
sorry.
I've heard some creepy shit, but those are I kid you not. You can't see it obviously, but my eyes watered all three times.
I'm sorry.
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I love being scared, but that was like,
Hey,
oh my
me too.
God. That's almost worse than the crawl space because you like just what the visual I have of that old woman is that'll live rent free in my head for a little bit. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
hopefully you don't book the same Airbnb.
Oh, my wife would never allow it. Never, never be a thing, unfortunately or fortunately. Wow. Okay. Those were three solid tales, I'll be honest. And that is going to do it for Makala's time here on the grave. And her tales will also bring a close to this season. I just want to give a big thank you to all the folks who gave up their time to talk to me and tell me all of their experiences with the paranormal. As I've said before, I believe that life after death is arguably the biggest question we will ever have to face in our lives, and my hope is to get to the bottom of it, one interview at a time. As far as season 4 goes, I certainly hope to pick interviews back up in the spring, so if you or anyone you know has had a paranormal experience or is currently living through a haunting, I would love to talk to you. I will provide updates as to the next season on my social channels, so please follow me at Horribly Opinionated on IG as well as TikTok, for however long that platform remains a thing. But as always, folks, thanks for listening, and I hope to have you all back for some more scary stories.